Well, let's take a couple of good breaths. Our muscles in the back are relaxing. Sometimes I'll even kind of tuck the shoulders under to help allow more space for the lungs to have deep breaths. The intention, as we're continuing to take these breaths, we start to connect with that intention. Today, the idea is imagine wandering around in a forest and you get yourself lost. And, the question is, what is the one thing you wish you had? And really, it's something to orient yourself. A compass. If we had a compass, we would be able to tell if we're just wandering in circles or if we actually are heading in one direction steadily. And so that compass could be that tool that would help us to find the path. If we have a map, for instance, if we don't have a map, at least we're not just taking huge circles and we're going toward one direction. And so that can make all the difference for survival, having that one tool. And so today in our class, we're building up to the compass pose. So we're going to take most of the class doing all sorts of stretches for hamstrings, helping the side ribs, the lateral bending muscles, and also eventually working on some balancing because the compass pose requires all of those aspects. So as we're taking most of the class to build up to it, it's almost like we're developing the skill that it requires to actually effectively use a compass. So think of the metaphor of a compass in your life. What is it that either helps you be sure of the direction you're taking in life? Or another question could be, what is it that you're heading toward? And so these questions, they're meant to be a metaphor to keep in the back of the mind. So as you move through class, just continue to keep on exploring that idea. What am I heading toward, or what is my compass? What is my thing that points me in the right direction? So that way we can continue to develop skill with that aspect. So with that idea to lead us on, let's start off. The knees come to the chest. Let's rock around on the low back for a moment. Just checking in with that area. As we release the left leg, you can either plant the foot or make these stretches deeper by extending that left leg long. Right leg is going to go up to the sky, so just find your first grip to hold on to, just an easy grip. And we simply hold in that spot. Oftentimes, the muscles take about 30 to 45 seconds to start relaxing into a stretch. So as we're heading toward that time point, we're keeping the breath steady so the muscles know this is a safe environment. It's not a fight or flight situation. I can be safe. Good. Now to help progress this hamstring a little bit deeper, let's start to bend and straighten the leg. And this will be at your own pace. So you're welcome to go extremely slow through that. Or sometimes people go faster and they're able to get many more reps in. Either way, the hamstring is finding little pulses to go straight and long. So a few more rounds. Now as the hamstring ultimately is heading to stay in straight, let's walk the hands up that leg. With the hands walking up, we can lift the forehead in, trying to reach the forehead toward the knees, pulling that hamstring in just a hair. The deep inhale. And exhale, hip starts to relax back down. You support this leg opening wide to the right. Make sure hip doesn't lift. Later on in class, we'll be practicing these types of poses while standing. And so this is a chance for us to tune into how the hip and the spine feel in this arrangement. so that when we're standing, we try to find the same setup. We're not hunching forward, we're not rocking back, we're tall. Good, so now leg starts to travel up, cross the right leg over toward the left about halfway. Leg is still straight. What this does is get us into outer hip and outer thigh. There's some muscles and connective tissues there that tend to get really tight just because of how they're used to help us walk repetitively. So easing into that area. And then we'll head into a twist. You can keep the leg straight or you could bend it now if the knee continues to head into that twist to that direction. Starts to return to the earth. We're going to cradle this leg out, so right hand at the knee, left hand at the foot. Bring the shin in toward the heart, and then give it a couple of good rocks, left and right. Another good inhale. And exhale as we release, right leg rests down on the ground. And we're going to start taking this straight left leg up to the sky. This first part is easing in for a couple of breaths. Try to work it straight and then just pause. And we begin the pulses. Just find the rate that feels good, straightening and bending. Good. And then as you ultimately work it towards straight, walk the hands up the leg. Pull the forehead in. We're increasing the stretch a bit. And relaxing, head back down. Support the leg opening to left. And the leg comes up. Let's cross it halfway over to the right, getting into the outer thigh area. You can keep the leg straight or choose to bend it as you melt into the twist all the way to this side. Coming out, we set up to cradle this shin. Pull it in, and then a few good rocks to each direction. And from here, extend this left leg back up to the sky, hands are behind the leg. Right leg hovers above the ground, and we're going to start doing some straight leg switches. So exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Engaging the core, helping the body warm up. And for today, rather than just letting this be about the core, Make this equally about the stretch on the top leg. So pulling it in to the point where you feel the backside, all those muscles on the backside of the leg stretching. Let's take 5 more to each. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and then we'll rock up into Cobbler's pose. Let the spine have a chance to relax. Just easing the spine. So if the neck also has any tightness, as you're in Cobbler's pose, feel free to rock the head, just a hair left and right. As we work our way up toward a seated place, we're going to take a boat pose. So try to rock back with balance, maybe the shins lift. If you can walk your hands toward the shins or feet, try to play with boat pose today with straight legs. It requires a little bit more effort of the core to make sure you're in balance. It's okay if you take a moment of a fall, just try to come right back up into it. And if this isn't enough balance challenge already, you have the option here to maybe try to open the legs and then squeeze them together. And if that makes you fall, just stay still, that's okay. We'll go 3 more. And 2. And 1. Beautiful. Settling down. Let this left foot be planted, right leg out in front of you. Left hand plants behind our back. And we're going to open up into a slight back bend. So this free hand in front of us lifts up. And then we arch the spine just a little bit. Holding for 3, 2,
should
1.
this foot stay flat? I guess it should stay flat. Oh, like that.
You got it. Sorry. No, you're okay, you're okay. Okay, good. And then resting down, let this left thigh fall. Right leg opens out wide. And then this is really going to be one of the poses that's going to help us head to our compass later. So rest the right hand, or sometimes I can get down to right elbow on the ground on the inside of that right leg. I pull my left shoulder open, and then the left arm gets to stretch. So we're going to take a little bit of extra time here for this one. Easing that shoulder and even the side ribs into a good opening. This prepares us for a lot of things to come later. And gently easing your way back up. Once we're there, left leg goes out in front of us. Right foot plants. Right hand is behind our back. This free hand lifts to the back foot. 3, and 2, and 1. Beautiful. Thigh falls down, leg slides open. Left hand or left elbow is resting as the right arm gets to reach. Easily rise up. One more thing here to work on practicing that balance with the hips. Bring the big toes to touch, the toes are pointed, and we're grabbing maybe onto heels, maybe onto feet, maybe onto shins. It's whatever grip works best for you. We rock back just a little bit, and then we start to straighten the right leg, and then bend. and left leg, and just easing back and forth. So this is including the balance aspect as well as some of that hamstring length that we get to feel. Let's take our last set to each side. Beautiful. And then bringing the thighs to touch, hug around the thighs. We're trying to keep the chest glued toward the thighs, and then we'll start to walk one foot forward, and then the next. And just keep on easing forward until it feels like that connection from torso to the thighs is about to release. It's okay if you're at the top, it's okay if you're almost flat. Just feel how this includes that low back and the glutes. Much deeper areas of hamstrings. Feel your belly breathing for 2 more rounds. After that second round, plant the hands on the ground, press into the hands to support the lift of the spine. Good. Legs can swing around. Let's take a few cat cows. And this is again at your own pace. There's several rhythms that we take throughout our class today, where you get to choose the pace. And that means if you need to stay in one of the arched positions, that's okay. If you want to be continuously flowing, that's also great. One more round. And then from here, the right leg will open out to the right side, tuck the back toes. And as we come up to a high kneeling place, let's take half camel. The left hand will aim for left heel. Hips will ease their way forward. This free hand arches up and back. Feel the shoulder open and feel the spine ease into an arch. Good, inhale. And then exhale, rise upright very gently. Take the right hand onto the right leg, sliding it down. Left arm gets to take that lateral stretch again, getting into shoulder as well as those ribs. And finally, going down to hands. Work our way down to elbows. The spine is rounded at all. Try to flatten it. From here, you can either stay or inch your elbows a little bit closer toward the straight leg. This shape, this tighter shape, but yet deeper stretch, is extremely similar to how the compass pose feels. So we're stretching those specific muscle groups. Let's rise back up onto our hands. Drop this knee down. And left opens to left. Tuck the right toes. We're up high. Right hand goes to heel, hips forward. And then continue to circle the left arm up and back. Get just as much into the shoulder as you are into the back. And start to ease your way up. Left hand to left leg, slide down. Right hand does that beautiful lateral lean. As we come up, gently drop to elbows. Flatten the low back. And if you'd like to start walking your elbows a little bit closer toward the straight leg, you're free to do so. Good, backing out of this leg comes back. Here we'll head to downward facing dog, or if you'd like to add a little flow here, you have that option as well. Start to lift the right leg up to the sky. Feel it rise as high as possible. And then step right foot in between hands. Once we're there in the back, we can lower down. And we're going to ease our way back and forth between a lunge, sinking forward, and the straight leg stretch, bowing forward. So again, this is one of those times, this is at your own pace. If you want to pause at one of these spots, that's okay. Or you could have continual flow. And the next time the leg is straight, let it stay. Pause for a few bonus breaths. This leg starts to come back. We can either head straight to down dog, or if you'd like another flow, go right ahead. Taking it. Left leg floats. Step it in between hands. Back knee eases down. Once again, choose your pace, that perfect rate for your body, back and forth. The next time the leg is straight, pause for those couple of breaths. When we take the leg back, same options again, child's pose, down dog, maybe a flow. On this one, you can stay as long as this is still helpful. You're still feeling good, things open. At some point sooner or later, we'll make our way up to the standing forward fold all the way up at the top. inhale, circle the arms up to the sky. And as hands come to the heart, we're going to start working with some of those balancing poses, getting our feet more used to it. So shift your weight into the left foot. Already feel like the foot is just kind of expanding twice as big as it actually is. So extremely grounded. And then from there, the right starts to rotate open. Maybe it climbs a bit higher. Tree pose I love is kind of that introductory balance pose of the day. It helps teach us those lessons. How do I stay stable? Take one more breath with this side. And then with our exhale, release this right foot as you drop it down. Already you're finding that grounding. Rotate the other one and maybe it climbs up a bit higher. Good, and if there's any wobbling, try to push the foot into the ground. The rest of the spine just grows up from that press. One more inhale. And exhale, release. We're planting this left foot, and we're gonna try to shift to right leg out in front of us. So as we're standing on left, the right knee comes up, we try to reach the hand to the outside edge of the foot, or maybe a little bit lower. This other hand can be on our body, it can be open, whatever spot helps us balance the best. Posture's already set up tall, that's where it'll stay. Start to kick forward. Beautiful. One more inhale. And exhale, release. Second side, plant that right foot right away. Start to reach for left and set the posture immediately up. Kick forward. And exhale, release. If the feet need a little bit of attention, give it. We've got one more trying to challenge that with our balance, and that'll be once the right leg is forward. If the balance is okay, we'll also open that out wide. Okay, so standing on left, grab the right. Posture's growing. We kick forward. Maybe opening. Good, return and release. One more side with that balance. So standing on right, grab left. Posture's tall. Then we can kick forward. Maybe open. That's okay. Return forward, release. Beautiful. You did it. Okay, so inhale, circling up. Exhale, ease our way down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale as the hands drop down, just the right foot travels back to the lunge. Rotate the heel down already. And sweep the arms up, warrior one. From warrior one, we'll take a twist. So right arm goes forward, left arm as much as possible tries to rotate over. And right back up. And from here, hands drop down to hips. We're going to pulse a couple of times between this knee bending here and then straightening. We lean partway forward, engaging those hamstring stretch areas. And this will be another chance where it's at your own pace. So eventually pulse back up to the bend and back up to the straight lean. The next time I go towards straight, just pause a few extra breaths. You can keep hands at the hips or lower them down. Good, and then as the front knee bends, sweep the arms up. Warrior one. Inhale. Rotate open, warrior two. And then we're going to pause for a little bit longer in extended side angle today. So this could just be resting the front elbow to thigh. If you wanted to play with dropping the fingers down, that's okay. Either way, we're stacking the shoulders, and then this top arm gets to point toward the front of the room, toward the mirrors. And let yourself just pause a little bit longer than we normally hold this. 3, 2, 1. Gently rise up. Shorten the stance back to pyramid. Hands on hips, hips face forward, and then hands on the thighs, slide it down. See if there can be a hair more length from the low back, and that gentle release. And bending knees, roll the spine up to stand. Slide the back foot forward. And a lateral lean, left hand on left side. Circle the right hand up and over, easing into that shoulder. And up to slowly reverse. Beautiful. Once we're up, circle arms to the sky, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And sliding hands down, left foot goes back to the lunge, and then drop the heel down. Front knee is bent, rise up, warrior one. Slowly head to the twist. Left arm forward, right arm rotates back. Arms back up, hands to hips, easing our way from the bent knee for the straight leg, bowing slightly forward. Just pulsing at your own pace, fast or slow, whatever feels really good for this part of the body. And one more time, bending. When we go straight, we'll pause for a moment. If you want to drop hands down, that's okay. Bending the knee, head up to warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, opening warrior two. And then this is that extended side angle where we pause. So elbow or maybe fingers down. And then the other arm starts to open forward. Okay, up to warrior 2. Squaring to pyramid. Straight legs front. And sliding down. Moving the knees, roll up. Slide the feet up to the top. Another lateral lean, left hand to thigh, right hand up and over. Good, switch it out. Okay. So from here, we're gonna head to a little challenge. Just do the best that you can do. If it doesn't work out today, that's okay. But start off by inhale, sweeping up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Trying to grab the right big toe. This will be just a little challenge. And again, if it doesn't work for your body today, that's okay. But we're going to try to take our weight into the left foot to see if it's possible to lift the right leg directly up. Good. That's okay. Just landing is beautiful.
Okay, so from the mid legs, you just try
to lift. Ooh. You got it. And then let's go gently back down. And let's try twice with the left. So you grab onto the toes. When you've shifted your weight to right foot, see if you can pivot directly up. Good, and down. Let's try one more on left. Up. And down, amazing. Good, as you release, just drop your spine forward, hold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, slide the hands down, travel back to plank. You'd like to do the flow. Take a flow for a moment, lowering chaturanga. Back bend. And down dog. And then take the shoulders over the wrists into a plank position. And then we're gonna head to side plank. So lifting the left wrist up. If you're okay here, try to ease the bottom leg forward. So it's that right leg going in front of you. And then this is a challenge. If you want to try to lift that foot off the ground for a moment, you can try. Good, one more inhale. Exhale, drop the foot down, drop the hands down. Let's lower onto the side of that right hip. Amazing effort. We're gonna aim for a forward twist, lowering to elbows. You want to try to scoot that leg a little bit higher. That would just deepen the stretch. Good, so twisting our body weight, kind of massaging that IT band again. Feel the breath slowing and calming. The knees start to soften. That will allow the front knee to scoot forward into pigeon shape, and then pick up the hips to travel them right there in the middle. Beautiful deep inhale. Exhale, let's come up onto hands. Step up to down dog if you want to wiggle the hips with freedom at all. That could feel nice to loosen, tighten things up. Then we'll try that side plank again. So first go to plank position. Rock the heels to the left so right hand can reach up. And then if it's possible for your balance, start to take the bottom leg out to the space in front of you. So switch your legs up, bottom leg. Oh, got it. That's okay. Good. Maybe the foot lifts or maybe you're just fine resting it down. Good. And dropping it down, slide onto the side of this left hip. Maybe scoot the leg up a bit higher before you rotate forward, lowering to one or both elbows. Breath slowing and calming again. That was the last real hard challenge. We still got compass pose, which is its own type of challenge. Doesn't require so much cardio effort though, so we can start to let our breath slow, let our heart slow. Letting the knees soften so you can shape them like Play-Doh into our pigeon pose. Inhale and exhale, start to rock onto the hip. We're going to come toward a seated place. And as we're preparing now for compass pose, we'll take one more preparatory shape. This will be left foot tucked in, right leg open. And this time we're going to try to touch the opposite hand toward that foot. So left hand, the right hand already is on the floor. It's already set up in that spot, maybe melting toward elbow. But at first, try to grab the toes or the side of the foot with that left hand. Once you've got the grip, see how much you can try to rotate the face right under that armpit to help the shoulders stack. Got one more good inhale. Exhale, release. We're going to practice that same preparatory spot on the second side. So switch the legs out. Left hand or left elbows on the floor. The right hand grabs the toes or the side of the foot. And from that grip, try to bring the head underneath as the shoulders stack. More inhale and exhale, start to release, ease out of it. Switch the legs one more time. And this time, instead of leaving that right leg long, slide it in. And then here we're going to prepare for compass. So step by step, follow me. Right hand plants on the ground, right in front of the foot. Left hand grabs the outside edge of that right foot. So opposites. Once you're here, we're lifting the right hip up already. Continue to lift it and rock your weight onto the left. And then start to kick the foot into the hand, extending up to compass. You got it. You can drop down early if you need to. Otherwise, let's aim for 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale, start to ease out of it. Amazing. And let's switch it out. One more side. So Left hand on the ground. Right hand for outside of foot. Start to shift your weight, lifting the hip up. This will be left hip that lifts. And then we start to kick it into it. You got it.
I don't think I can show this one.
Sometimes one side is not quite so open in the shoulders, so that's okay. Take one more good inhale. And exhale, let's ease. Good work. So just helping those shoulders out now, let's cross the right arm over the body. Left arm hooks to gently hug it in. Feel the spine, feel all those organs having gotten almost like their own little stretch, their own little workout. Good, and let's switch, gently open, and left arm across, hug it in. Beautiful, gentle opening. And then scanning through your body mentally, search for anything that might want a last stretch or two as we're aiming toward a Shavasana sooner or later. The body's continuing to stretch, to wiggle, to ease. Keep on doing any of these motions until Shavasana feels just natural. The body is so ready to relax, ease. For Shavasana, just let the breath flow in and out with ease. And to allow the inhales and the exhales to deepen. Introducing little movements into our body. Movements getting larger and larger until it's like we're stretching first thing. Take a fetal position if you'd like. Enjoying a bonus 3 or 4 breaths until you feel ready to rise up to a comfortable seated place. With hands at the heart here, we think of perhaps in compass pose, the top leg is pointing to north, or that's the goal. And so imagine, returning back to that metaphor, imagine what things in our life point us north, give us that direction, that clarity. Notice, if you've never used a compass, it wouldn't be much use. It wouldn't necessarily help you navigate your way across a map. It's in slowly developing the skill that it becomes useful. And so think of that relating to your north, to your compass, to your direction that you chose to inspire you in class today. And imagine that being like a skill that we need to still harness to be able to use it effectively, kind of like the compass. And so with us having the intention moving forward to place more time to develop that skill, let's allow ourselves to wrap up the time we got to share together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.